Hello and thank you for watching my video. My name is Astrid Krasniqi. I'm Cisco CCNA CCNP and Palo Alto certified instructor. On this video we are covering PCN SA 210 and this is chapter 2, initial device configuration. Now this is a second video of that chapter, video 2.2, initial system access. Reset to factory configuration. So for some reason, if you want to reset your device or your Palo Alto network firewall to factory reset, then there's two ways. If you know the username, if you know the password of the admin account, then you can just log on in there, and then on the user mode you can say request system private data reset, which you can see the command there. That's the command, and that will reset the firewall to the factory default. And that's what I did here. I logged in my admin, I knew my password, I logged in, and then I set up the command request system private data reset. And the tab works here, yeah? So you just type REQ and hit the tab, and then SYS, hit the tab, and then PR, hit the tab, and it will fill it for you. And then it will give you like a warning message and ask you whether you want to set up or not. Then you click Y, and then it will reset it. If for some reason you don't know the administrator password, then the first thing you need to do is put the firewall into maintenance mode. So after the firewall boots up, starts booting, you type maint in the command line interface through the console port. And after some time, you can choose to reset it to factory default. Management interface configuration web interface. Now, if you for some reason you want to change the IP address of the device that you want to manage, or your firewall that you want to manage, by default these firewalls, they come with IP address, they come with 192.168.1.1. That's the default firewall, not the default gateway either. So netmask is the same. But if you want to change it, which I did in this case, we can go there. Okay, I'm going to show you how I did it. So I go to my firewall, and you need to access device. So device, functional category tab, go to setup, and then go to interfaces, and there's already a management interface. That's it. You can't add another one or anything like that. That's it. If you want to edit it, you just highlight. You can see there's like a hyperlink. You highlight, select it, and click on it. By default, now a physical firewall, the IP address of the physical firewall would have been 192.168.1.1. 192.168.1.1. I have changed it here to this address. Subnet mask is the same, and I put the gateway as well. Now, in here you can actually configure how or what administrative management services are allowed on this firewall. See, by default we allow HTTPS and SSH, secure shell and HTTPS, but we can allow it through unsecure HTTP and telnet if you want, but they are not allowed by default. And then you can allow what network services you're allowed. By default, ping is allowed. You can ping the device, but you can enable other stuff as well. Here you can control who can connect to this firewall. So for example, like create a static list, who is configured, who is allowed to connect to this firewall. By default, you have all of them. But if you select here, you can put the IP address of your device, or you can just put the IP address of your network. So it can be a network. So we can say 192. For example, you can say 192.168.1.0/24. That means that only those addresses are available from that network are available to connect to this IP address. If you don't do that, it's just going to connect. Everyone can connect to it. If you want your firewall, and usually this is the default for the virtual machines, to get a DHCP. It's a DHCP client, and it's going to get information through DHCP. The next thing we need to talk about is configure general settings. i.e., for example, you want to change the name, you want to configure a banner or something like that. Then we need to go to the same place, device, functional category tab, setup, and then we go to management. And when we have the management, this is your configuration here. What we need to do, if you want to make changes, you need to click on this like a gear icon here, and then that will open this, the general settings. If you want to configure the panorama settings, you configure this, and it goes on like that, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to configure the general settings of this Palo Alto network firewall. So if I click on it, here I can change the name, the host name. I can change the domain name, as I have. Now those two, except DHCP server provided hostname and except DHCP server provided domain name, are grayed out, and I'm not able to tick them. The reason I'm not able to tick them is because you have configured the IP address to be static. If you configure the IP address to be dynamic or through DHCP, then those two are available. Then you can configure the banner that's going to appear. Then obviously the time zone and the language, the date, the time, and so on. The latitude and longitude, these are used to place the firewall on the map on the ACC tab. You can have, for example, SSL TLS service profile. You can enable it here if the communication between the client and this firewall will be encrypted. But I haven't got anything there yet. We will in the future, but at the moment I don't have any. Automatically require commit log. Again, later on we're going to be talking about all this stuff. Yeah. So I'm going to cancel there for a second. Now, if you want to configure, for example, this firewall to communicate with the DNS server, then again we have to click device, setup, and then services. In here we have services for DNS server and services for an NTP server. So again, on the services, I have to click the tab, the gear icon here, and I can change my DNS server. In here, what we have later on, we're going to come back here again, but we can have an update server. Where is our update? Palo Alto updates. Where do we get them? And the default is update.paloaltonetworks.com. And here we will add EU because we are in Europe, we are not in America. So I would put later on, again, we're going to talk about this. So EU when we talk about the updates. But here I want to talk about the DNS server, the DNS settings. So we have a primary, secondary DNS server, minimum FQDN refresh time, and the stale time. So those how you configure your DNS, the primary and secondary DNS server. If you do want to configure the NTP server, so you click on this, and then you can configure the NTP server. So where you're going to get the time from, NTP server's address, and if you have any authentication, for example, enabled. Same, that's your primary NTP server and the secondary NTP server. Remember, NTP was UDP port 123. And if you enable, like for example here, authentication type, you can enable like the key authentication. Now, by default, management interface, this interface, it will go and get all communicate to other external servers. For example, the update server, we're going to use the management interface. The DNS server, we're going to use the management interface, NTP server, and so on. But for some reason, and mainly most of the people are not very happy with that. Like for example, you can actually configure one of the physical interfaces to go out and to communicate to the external servers, not leave the management server. And for that, we have to go, for example, if you want to change that, you have to go to device, setup, services, and same as where we were configuring the IP for the DNS server and NTP server is a service route configuration. A service route configuration, see, it says use management interface for all services, like the update server, NTP, DNS, and so on. But if you don't want to do it, for example, we can customize it. We can say, okay, well, no, we want to use some interface, some physical interface. And you can see all these services by default what the management interface will be using. And some people are not happy with this. So for example, the NTP server, I can say NTP server here. I can click on it and that will open another window. And here I can configure the source IP address and source interface. What interface I'm using, for example, and what is the IP address of that interface. If I choose the source interface, for example, that will be Ethernet 1.1, and that's my source address, IP address. It will populate it automatically. So for the NTP server, I'm using in-band interface. Okay. So that's it for this demonstration. So we go back to the slides again. For example, the IP address, we had to click device, we had to click setup, and then interfaces, and then click on the hyperlink and it will open this window. And that will open, then you can configure the static IP address to something that you want. Then if you want to configure, for example, say they change the name of the firewall, domain name, or the banner, and the time, latitude, longitude, device, setup. In general settings, we click the gear icon here, and that opens this window, and then from there we can configure. Once we're happy, click OK, and then we have to make sure that we commit them for the changes to take effect. The next thing, if we want to configure, for example, the DNS server, change it, the DNS IP address, device, setup, services, and then the gear icon. And then down here we have the DNS stuff. If you want to configure the NTP, we click on the NTP tab, which is going to be the next slide anyway. But it's the same place. So device, setup, services, the gear icon, and then the NTP tab, and then we put the NTP IP address. Like I said to you, in the service routes, by default, the firewall will use the management interface to access remote DNS servers, content update services, license retrieval services, and NTP services, and all other external services. If you do not want to enable external network access to your management network, you must set up an inbound data to provide access to required external services, and set up a service route to instruct the firewall which port to use to access the server external services. So how we did that was I went to device, same place, device, setup, and then services, and then down here we have a service route configuration. And then we chose, the default was the management, we chose customize, and then we can click what service we want to use and what interfaces we want to use for that service. If you want to change the IP address of the firewall manually through the command line interface, you can do it through the CLI using this command. So first you have to log on through the command line interface. So log on, you put the password, type configure to move to configuration mode, and we can see that's our configuration mode. And then we say set device config, system IP address, and then the IP address that you want to change it to, net mask, and then put the subnet mask, the default gateway, and DNS server primary settings, if you would do it through the command line. Thank you for watching lesson 2.2, initial system access of chapter 2, initial device configuration. Please have a look at my other videos and don't forget to subscribe. This has been Astrid Krasniqi, and bye bye.